Osaka Castle, 1598. 3,000 people watched. The emperor's annual tournament. The best young warriors in Japan. And in the center of the arena stood Ryota, 22 years old, pride of his dojo, undefeated in 17 straight duels. He was supposed to be the future. His opponent, a nameless ronin from the mountains. No reputation, no titles. The signal to begin sounded. The duel lasted 8 seconds. Ryota froze. Not fear, not pain, just nothing. His mind went blank. His body wouldn't move. The ronin's wooden sword struck his face once, twice, 3 times before Ryota even lifted his weapon. Silence, then laughter. That sound followed him for 3 years. Chapter 1: When a warrior loses himself. 3 days later, Ryota sat alone, staring at his sword like it belonged to someone else. 17 victories. A lifetime of discipline. All destroyed in 8 seconds. But the real wound wasn't on his face. It was this question: if I'm not a warrior, who am I? His entire identity had been built on one thing: winning. Training at dawn. Perfect forms. No distractions. He wasn't just someone who practiced discipline. He was discipline. And when he failed, the identity collapsed. He tried to train again. His hands shook. His master said, "You are here, but you are not present." That broke him. So he stopped going. Days turned into weeks. Practice turned into drinking. Meditation turned into sleep. The disciplined warrior disappeared. Not in battle. In avoidance. Month 6, rock bottom. A monk found him half-conscious in an alley. "You're not dying of hunger," the monk said. "You're dying of absence. You removed yourself from life." "I lost everything," Ryota whispered. "No," the monk said calmly. "You lost an identity built on illusion. Come to the temple," he said, "if you want to learn how to live without pretending." Chapter 2: The truth that changes everything. At the temple, the monk said something Ryota never forgot. "You can only fight the way you practice. And you can only live the way you practice. You didn't lose because you weren't skilled," the monk said. "You lost because you practiced being the winner, not being present." Winning was his identity. So when winning disappeared, so did he. "Then who am I?" Ryota asked. "Nothing," the monk said. "Good. Now you can start from zero." Chapter 3: Training from nothing. First lesson. A basic sword form. Ryota tried to perform it perfectly. "Stop," the monk said. "You're performing again. There is no audience here. Just breath. Just movement." For weeks he practiced like a beginner. No reputation. No past. No image to maintain. Just this moment. Slowly, something returned. Not confidence. Presence. He wasn't trying to be Ryota the undefeated. He was just there. Month 4, the test. A traveler challenged the temple. Ryota was chosen. His heart pounded. "What if I freeze again?" The monk said, "Don't try to win. Just don't abandon yourself." The duel began. The opponent attacked. Ryota didn't freeze. He didn't rush. He just responded. The duel ended with no clear winner. But Ryota realized something greater than victory. He never left the moment. For the first time, he didn't disappear under pressure. Chapter 4: The Warrior Truth. Years later, Ryota returned to Osaka. Same arena, same crowd, and by fate, the same ronin stood before him. They bowed. The duel began. This time, Ryota flowed, not trying to prove, not trying to erase the past, just present. The fight was beautiful, not because of perfection, because of authenticity. Afterward, the ronin asked, "What changed?" Ryota said, "I stopped being the warrior who must never lose. I became the warrior who never leaves himself." Final lesson. Most people think warriors lose in battle. No, they lose in the small daily moments. When they perform instead of being real. When their identity depends on success. When they forget to show up fully. And the way back. Not dramatic. Not motivational speeches. Just daily practice of presence. Because you can only fight the way you practice. You can only live the way you practice. Practice perfection, you break under pressure. Practice presence, you become unbreakable. The question isn't will you fall. You will. The real question is, when you fall, will you abandon yourself or stay present and rise? That's the warrior path. And it begins today.